called you a terrorist lawyer. How do you respond to that?
Well, when I defended someone charged with rape, nobody called me a rapist. When I defended someone charged with murder, nobody dug around my backyard. But when someone's accused of terrorism, people like you seem to think that's different.
You want to represent the head recruiter for 9/11.
Constitution doesn't have an asterisk at the end that says, terms and conditions apply.
They kidnapped me from my home and brought me here with a bag on my head and chains around my body.
What do they accuse you of?
3 years, they charged me with nothing.
Rough justice. That's what this administration wants.
We are seeking the death penalty.
What if you're wrong?
Rick Hong here for Hollywood First Look. Today, I'm with director Kevin Macdonald, and we are talking his movie, The Mauritanian. Kevin, I wanted to tell you congratulations. I always love your work in particular, but I always love being educated on things that happen outside the world that are like true and real life stories. I was curious if you were already familiar with Mohamedou's story, or if like you were given the book and then you attached yourself as the director.
I was given the book, and initially I thought, I don't know if the world needs another movie about Guantanamo or about, well, not so much about Guantanamo, because there actually aren't really many movies about Guantanamo, but about the war on terror. And then it was actually speaking to Mohamedou himself. I was encouraged by the producers to speak to Mohamedou, and he was such a remarkable person, such a warm-hearted, humorous, lovely guy, so different than what I'd somehow expected. You know, you expect someone who's an angry, sort of, you know, hyper-religious kind of person who's got no sense of humor. And he's just couldn't be further from that.
You know, I really wanted to tell you that's like the one big thing that I took away from the movie is like with your directing and also like Tahar Rahim's performance of Mohamedou, I was just like, wow, this guy is so charming.
Yeah, he is. He's totally charming. And obviously at the beginning of the movie, we play a little bit with that as to, you know, you're not quite sure what to think of him. Is this an evil charmer? Or is this a nice charmer?
This is the first time that Jodie Foster decides to actually play somebody in real life. I didn't realize that with her career. Like I know a lot of her work. I've talked to her before. And so I don't know for you if like when you sit down with her, like, and I know she's a sweet person, that's a little intimidating.
Yeah, look, meeting an icon is always intimidating. And she really is, you know, she's been in several of my favorite movies. You know, she's also a director of some renown, and that's intimidating, undoubtedly. You know, you feel like a novice and a youngster next to her. But the thing with her is that, you know, she doesn't work very much these days because she's really fussy about what she does, because she only wants to do things that are new for her, which take her somewhere else. And that was why this appealed to her, as you were playing a real person for the first time, doing something that was a kind of political movie, I guess, for the first time. And also, you know, she had this little nugget that was so interesting to me that when I first met her, she said, you know, my mother converted to Islam briefly in the 70s, and I went to the mosque with her a couple of times. And so she had this sort of knowledge, this little knowledge of Islam. And I think she was intrigued by that as well.
So then do you have gratification when you're sitting there and then all of a sudden her name gets announced saying that she won the Golden Globe? And you sit there and say, yep, I did something right.
I don't get too much the reflected glory. Look, Jodie's great. And you know, that was the high point of the whole ceremony, obviously for me, but I thought in general, because she was so sweet in her pajamas with her dog and her wife. And it was like this absolutely lovely moment because she was genuinely shocked and surprised, genuinely on her way to bed.
So then how was it for you? Because I was told by a friend of mine, because I think she watched an interview that you did, you know, talking about the production design of like recreating Guantanamo.
It's very hard to find out what Guantanamo is really like inside, or what it was like certainly at that time. And there are some photos on the internet. You're not quite sure, is this from then? Is this from later? Are these real? Is this another print? And so we spent a lot of time with the real Mohamedou going through, and he would draw things, and we'd do color swatches with him and say, what color were the walls here? Was there a window? No window. And so we really tried hard to make the small bit of Guantanamo that we built be absolutely accurate. But of course, for Mohamedou, the real Mohamedou, when he came to the set, which he did when we were filming in South Africa, he walked into the Guantanamo set and he was you know, he stopped, pulled up short, and was just really, you could see in his face a lot of confusion, a lot of pain actually coming over his face, and he couldn't stay. He had to leave.
Oh, wow.
It was too painful for him. And he said to me, you know, it was just so close to the place.
The movie is The Mauritanian. It's available on digital now, and you can buy it on Blu-ray and DVD May 11th. Until next time, I'm Rick Hong, and you've been watching Hollywood First Look.
What if you built this place? You abandoned all of your principles, all of your laws, and you were wrong. You need to tell me what happened to you. I can't defend you.
My captors cannot forgive me for something that I've never done.
Maybe he's guilty.
Someone has to answer for the tower.
Someone. Not just anyone.
In Arabic, the word for free and the word for forgiveness is the same word. I want to forgive. This is how, even here, I can be free.